Hello guys, welcome back once again to my channel, and today we are going to be discussing immigration in the US and Canada too. Now, the newly elected president of the United States of America, who is Donald Trump here, have said on several occasions that he's going to carry out one of the biggest mass deportation on the first day of his inauguration, and this has changed the tide of things in the US. Now, after the US, if we see it that the US is unsafe for illegal migrants, let me put it that way, because if you don't have the document, that means that maybe you are illegal. Okay, so after the US declaration by Trump, then the next option became Canada. Canada was the place where immigrants were looking up to. And because of a statement that Justin Trudeau, who is the current president or the prime minister of Canada, made in 2019 or thereabout, when he came to office, he said that he was going to welcome all the immigrants willing to come to Canada. But today, that statement have changed, because the overwhelming number of immigrants who have flooded Canada. Now, Canada is saying that they are not going to accept the immigrants that will be leaving America into their country. That's why I'm here today. I'm going to be playing you a couple of videos, explaining these things in one context. So it's a very big issue as it is right now. All right, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. All you just have to do for me is to share so that others can understand what's going on. Let's go there.
21 million people, that's bigger than New York, and we have to stop it. And we have to do the largest deportation in the history.
He's talking pretty tough on immigration there, Greg.
Yeah, he really is. And it sounds aggressive, but when you talk to the people, the polls in Arizona, for example, 50% of Hispanics in Arizona favor mass deportation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Hispanics, right? All of whom are immigrants or children or grandchildren of immigrants.
Well, this is the thing. Same here. People who come to this country legally and have lived here for a couple of generations
absolutely
are just as upset as everybody else is about it.
And it's, it sounds cruel on the surface, but it's reality, and it's the people that are suffering, and the people in, those in Washington, the salons of Georgetown, they're not dealing with the Venezuelans down the block.
No, exactly right.
So they
it's the same here, isn't it? We get the sort of, the liberal elites who occupy Westminster and who've got, very nice houses all over the place.
Yeah.
They don't think it's a problem because they don't see it.
Yeah, and their children probably go to schools that are by mass immigration, and we're seeing it in the U.S. now. It's the public schools where African Americans' children are going to school that are the ones, they can't play basketball after school because the migrants are living in the gym.
All right. So you see, and you heard the news right there when these people were analyzing the whole story. Okay. Now, immigrants have exceeded the numbers wanted in Canada. That is the reason why Canada doesn't want to accept immigrants anymore. Now, there are a couple of countries that have, given these high statistics in Canada and are giving this highest number of immigrants who have made up the numbers in Canada. Now, imagine having another set of influx into Canada is going to be, in fact, it's going to be a disaster. Now, take a look at this here. You see, asylum seekers in Canada, origin countries of migrants. Now, these are the countries that makes up the highest number of immigrants. You can see we have, let me take this off. You have Mexico, number 1, Haiti, number 2, Colombia, number 3, the US. So even the US people are even migrating to Canada. Then number 5 is India. Number 6 is Pakistan. So these India, Pakistan, and Nigeria are the total foreigners. These Mexico, Haiti, Colombia are neighboring countries to the US, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay? So those ones are far closer than India, Pakistan, and Nigeria. So it's going to hit India, Pakistan, and Nigeria very hard in the US issue and Canada too. So, which means that there will be no escape route for these people. Now, let me show you another important video here that you also need to. Now, a lot of people who, claim to be students who wants to go and study in Canada, once they get there, what they do is to seek asylum. But first of all, let me take you here. The government of this Canada have said that they are ready to work with Donald Trump on his deportation plan. Now, take a listen to this.
That he doesn't like you very much in the past. What makes you the best person to lead the Canadian government's efforts here?
I think that President Trump will obviously speak for himself, and I would never put words in his mouth. But in my experience, President Trump respects strength, and he respects people and countries who are strong and clear in defending their countries, in defending their national interest. That's what I've always done, and that's what I will continue to do.
We know that even as the Trump administration is significantly concerned about international pressures, particularly overcapacity by China and unfair trade practices by China, Canada is aligned with the United States already, and we're going to be able to do good things together. We were able to make sure that Canada and the United States together were creating good jobs and economic growth on both sides of the border by working as friends and partners, and we're going to do that again.
All right, so you can see today groomsman and appointment immigration system. So Canada, US is kind of tired of immigrants flooding their countries. Okay, so let me show you one video again that you also need to see.
Well, as you know, the Prime Minister has already spoken to President-elect Trump. I look forward to speaking to Mr. Roman directly. This is not something that we've done yet. I think when it comes to our southern border and the U.S.'s northern border, you see there the alignment of interests and making sure that it is safe, that it is secure. We share information with our American partners, and we're able to apprehend folks that cross the border in a regular fashion or in a fashion where they're not entitled to do it. And that's important, and that needs to stay the same. We have had equal challenges with respect to the flow coming from the U.S. into Canada and have taken measures to secure it and to close some of the ways people get in here in an irregular fashion. That's going to continue. I think in all these situations, we do have to continue to work in the national interest of Canadians, which in my view is aligned with the current administration and the one that is coming in to replace it. And I expect that conversation to continue fully, and I expect there to be some tough conversations. We have had over the last number of years volumes of asylum seekers coming into Canada, for example, in historically high numbers. A lot of reasons that have very little to do with Canada. But we have to make sure that those flows come in a way that is regular. There is a way to come to Canada. There's a way not to come to Canada, and continue to make those measures regardless of what the administration to the south is and on any particular set of 4 years. So that'll continue, and I actually look forward to those conversations.
All right. So this is the Canadian spokesperson. You see? So this immigration in the US is going to get tougher, okay? Since there's no escape route now, the deportation will land anybody that is caught to his home country directly, okay? This is Rossam speaking on this deportation or allowing immigrants into Canada. So no escape route this time. Or are people going back to Mexico? The people in Mexico are already fleeing into the US. Let me know what you guys think about it. Now, when students arrive in Canada, what they do is to seek for asylum. And that is why this number of asylum seekers have gotten so high. Now watch this.
Nava is fresh off a flight from Mexico City, ready to start a new life in Canada. The petrochemical engineer traveled on a tourist visa, but as soon as he landed at Montreal's Trudeau Airport, he requested refugee status. He says there's a lot of talk in Mexico about how supportive Canada is to refugees, though he admits he didn't have much information about what the process entails.
Nervioso, la verdad, nervioso. No sabía si me iban a deportar, no sabía qué iba a pasar.
Nava is one of thousands of Mexicans who are coming to Quebec to claim refugee status. In 2023, Quebec processed more than 25,000 asylum claims at the airport, more than double the amount of 2022. In general, asylum requests in Quebec have exploded in the past 2 years. In 2021, Quebec received a total of just over 10,000 requests, compared to more than 59,000 in 2023. In 2021, there were more than 1,300 requests from Mexican citizens. In 2023, the government received more than 15,000 requests. A high number of people with Haitian and Colombian citizenship also requested refugee status in the province. Those who land at Trudeau Airport and have nowhere to stay are sent here. The regional program for settlement and integration of asylum seekers, known as PRIDA. Lisbeth Valencia says it has been harder than she thought.
Muy difícil.
A few blocks away from Prida's shelter is the Welcome Collective. They say they've seen an increase of asylum seekers like Nava and Valencia coming through the airport. A major issue is that their work permits don't come right away, pushing many to request financial assistance. For the first 15 days of 2024, Quebec's Labor Ministry says there have been nearly 10,000 requests. That's an average of 656 per day. An estimated 30% come from asylum seekers.
All right. So you see why Canada is, getting tired of this immigration matter. The number of people there in this country has exceeded their expectations. In the past, it was, come to Canada. Canada is looking for immigrants. Canada is looking for immigrants. In fact, migrate to Canada. Easy way to migrate to Canada. Today, easy way to exit Canada. Easy way to exit Canada. Nobody wants immigrants again. The country is filled up. Every sector is filled up. Now they are looking for ways to, remove GIA. The GIA is on GIA 5 now. And the speed is more, so they want to slow down. The number of people there is so overwhelming. Okay, because of these moves. Now take a listen to this.
What we've been hearing from our government, especially recently, but what we've been listening to for the last decade, frankly, is quite misleading. We don't have a border patrol. We don't have the number of officers needed to adequately enforce our customs and our immigration laws at the borders, let alone in our communities. We're about to experience a tsunami of people who are living illegally in the United States seeking asylum in Canada, and we do not have the capacity, and it's going to bring organized crime with it too.
All right, so let me know your opinion
what we've been hearing
on this issue. Let me know what you think is going to happen. So Donald Trump is finally going to win the case, because there will be no escape route. That's one of the major problems here. No escape route. This mass deportation is going to be something else. Everybody should gear up. If you have an escape route now, you can fly out. Because if Trump's train comes meet you, if he comes get you, my dear, you go red with that. Let me know your opinion. I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Please, thank you, and share this video to keep them alert.